Are we married to our title yet?
I like Melissa Peterman. Do you guys like it? Podcast? Like what
The
Melissa?
Melissa
It's
Peterman
Melissa.
podcast? I guess.
Melissa, Peter, and Man.
Oh, well, what if we did then in that case, Peter Melissa Man?
Yeah.
Sure.
The Peter Melissa Man podcast, which would be actually kind of hilarious.
I'm fine with that too. I really am. I mean, if you think you have more name recognizable.
Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Melissa and Peter the Man. Melissa and Peter the Man.
Hey, everybody. I went to Costco. I spent $296.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was
So
getting dog food.
4 items. How many did you get?
No, I got dog food. I got caramels. I got wine. I got bully
What
sticks.
kind of caramel do you get?
I get that stuff that Levi and I love, that Sanders dark chocolate caramel squares in the jar. It's real good.
Yeah. Can you show me?
No, because it's way far away. And I can't because it's in my new car downstairs, already loaded.
Oh, send me a picture of your new car after this. I'd love to see it.
We're on 3 topics already. We can't jump around like this.
All right, let's get. We're
that's
getting
okay.
to it.
Porte. Okay, let's get into it.
Power just went out in my house.
That's a sign.
Yeah. It's a sign about your lighting, probably.
No,
It's actually better.
Well, I'm kind of concerned though that the power's out. It really is out. Oh well, okay. If this is my last podcast before the zombies come, it better be good.
You're heading to Utah. You're doing exactly. This feels like a little bit like Red Dawn, because you're all packed up and you're ready to head to the mountains, and you're not shy about drinking on camera.
It's Bing. I'm trying to get a sponsorship.
Oh, that's right. Do they carry Bing at Costco?
No.
Oh, boy, that got really testy quickly. No longer a sponsor.
I know this is not today's topic, but true story. I was flying on. I had a plane ticket, and it said Melissa Peterman, and then it said, you did it. I don't know if they still do, but on my plane ticket it said male, like I was a man,
yeah.
And no one questioned it. And I'm like, that's about right.
She looks great. What a dancer! I mean, obviously you're in town for the show.
The big show.
They just saw my shoulders and my 5 o'clock shadow. They were like, "Welcome aboard, sir.
Sir,
would you like coffee, tea?"
Also not the topic, but
okay, all right.
Where do we fall on welcome on board or welcome aboard? Because I have very strong feelings about this.
Aboard.
Welcome aboard.
Aboard.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard.
I know. I can't stand
welcome
the
aboard.
On board. Welcome on board. I go, welcome on board.
Who says that?
Well,
a student, a child.
No,
a child who's never been aboard.
No, these are people on the flight attendants when they're doing the announcement. Sometimes they'll say, "Welcome on board," and I go, "No, no. Let's head back to the gate. We're not doing this."
No, I don't want you in charge of anything.
And you know what? I bet she would appreciate a white male telling her how to pronounce things.
Someone
so you should go ahead and
send her a note from the back. Go, hey, boom, just hit that. Hey, I know we're about to take off, but hey, I got a quick question about. Are you married to the onboard aboard thing? Okay. So here's what if this is our first one and we're introducing ourselves to some degree. One person who has a lot of name recognition doesn't need a big intro, but 2 of the others, maybe at least one of the others, definitely needs some level. But here's
Peter Porte. Hello, hi everyone. Hi.
But here's would be a great question that anyone would have. That certainly people have for me was, how do you guys know each other, and how are you friends? So since I'm the add-on anyway, I'm gonna defer to you guys for a while, and you explained how you became friends and how that came about. And is there something? Are there bubbles around my face?
I can't see you, so yes.
No, like what kind of bubbles?
Like full bubbles that are like After Effects that are kind of going by my face.
Like you were on board a cruise? Like you were
I'm aboard an onboard cruise.
I see.
No, more like a
No.
submarine. More like a submarine.
You look great.
Well, thank you. I wasn't fishing for a compliment. I obviously didn't spend 20 minutes on lighting like everybody else. I just did
My power's out. Wait, how could this light still be working?
It could be just the bulb.
Okay, go ahead.
Maybe it's just a breaker.
Could be ghosts.
Oh no, I
poltergeist.
don't know how to fix breakers.
You turn them you flip them the other way that they're not.
Counterclockwise.
I don't know where it is.
It's just gonna be. It's either side left. It's gonna be
counterclockwise.
Left, right.
Counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise. It's counterintuitive, but it's counterclockwise.
I don't know where
my
a breaker
T-zone
is.
is a little
Okay, we better
shitty.
go.
I don't know if
Yeah. That's
Peter's got a conflict or something tonight, so we have to do this.
Yeah, he has that commercial with white diamonds. He's obviously prepping for.
They always brought me luck. Anyway, so the how I know Melissa is
Melinda?
I was cast as Melinda. What? I'm sorry. What is the girl's name next to you?
It's the name of the podcast.
Or the man. Oh, that's right. Peterman. Peterman. Anyway, so yeah, no, I was cast as a guest star on Melissa's show, Baby Daddy.
Hold for applause.
Bing, brought to you by Bing. Melissa's show, Baby Daddy. This is maybe 13 years ago. Was it probably 13 years ago? And our first scene, I was a one night stand, and our first scene was in bed together, nude, eating a muffin. And the rest is history, hand in hand. Anyway,
Okay.
so that's how I remember it. How do you remember it?
I remember that you were cast to be my love interest, to be a one night stand. You were going to be a one episode only. And I do remember when you walk on the set and our wonderful showrunner, Dan Berenson, and head writer showrunner came up and he was like, you're welcome. And when you walked on set, I looked at you and I was, like, oh, come on, Dan, he's too pretty. I go, is he funny? Like, it's all this. And of course, he was gorgeous, and then he was funny, and he made me laugh. He made me break during our first episode, and he was supposed to be one episode, and clearly the chemistry was there, and they said he's got to come back.
Off the charts.
He's got to be the guy that Bonnie dates, and then I married him on the show. Yeah, Bonnie. Yeah. And then
you should have seen us eating that muffin together. Yeah, I know, and it was so easy. I knew immediately that. I mean, the thing is, let's be real. I grew up also watching. Let's be real. Let's lean in. I watched Melissa on Reba growing up.
Yeah, as a young kid.
Not that much younger.
As a
than me.
very young kid, a very young child. I didn't speak English or any language at that point yet, but I knew she was a beautiful woman, a beautiful blonde woman, and I would be her friend one day.
I want to ask Peter though. Do you remember how you made me completely break? Where Michael Lembeck was like, "I've never seen you break so hard." Do you remember what you did?
No.
We were doing the scene where we were looking out the window across at was it Chelsea's apartment or who was across? It was Taj was over there, or was it JL? But it was me, you, Derek, and no, Taj was on our side, and you had to. You said, "I'm invested," and every time you said it, your mouth was like right to my ear, and the way you said it made us all break. And by the end of it, I was like we had to duck and go on the floor, and by the end, I could not stop laughing. I thought it was the funniest thing ever, and Dan was like, it was supposed to be a joke. They were supposed to go like, "Oh, this is ridiculous. There's no way that they would ever be together." And then Dan was like, "No, it works. So we're gonna keep it." So anyway, that was my favorite. Say it for me. Say it. I'm invested.
I'm building up. I'm trying to remember. I'm recalling something from 13 years ago. Let's see. How did I do it?
Whoa.
You were watching us because we were spying on.
What? I'm invested. Was that it? No, it's something like that. I don't know.
Don't answer, Ben.
Do not answer that.
Answer it.
No, don't! What? I'm invested.
I'll have to watch it again. I have to rewatch it.
You're just drinking just
Vodka.
name brand drinks? Wow. That's not going to help us.
I was going to drink some of my coffee on air.
Oh.
This is a prized possession of mine.
Oh, so you're the Peter in the
But it's empty.
Man, Melissa, Peter pod.
Yeah, apparently.
All right, well, that's good. Well, that's it. And then you guys have been friends, close friends, fast friends ever since.
Yeah, I think it was pretty straight up to the races. And we got married on the show after 3 or so years. And then Melissa married me in real life to my husband, Jacob, in New Orleans 7 years ago. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, that is crazy.
That's life imitating art, I'll say. I'll say. You remember the day or like what were you wearing, what the day was like when you met Melissa?
No, but I know the conversation that ended what I thought ended our friendship quickly because I was being snarky and was dumb.
I'm just talking.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
the yawn in the middle of my story. It's so early on in the story. That's like the worst.
I'm so sorry.
Here we
I'm
go.
so sorry.
Boring alert. Okay, hi Melissa.
So you said something snarky. What was it?
Between Reba and before you start another series, and again, that's a small window when you weren't on a hit series. We were reminded of that daily. You were out doing stand-up. You started doing club dates, and we worked together in Sacramento at the Sacramento Punchline. Unfortunately, did not know who you were, so I'll just say that I didn't know. But Molly, my friend Molly, who books it, said, "Hey, this would be great. She'll be a lot of fun." So, yeah, we had a great time. I had a great week. It's really fun. She's really funny, super nice. And then I think the last night, Melissa's like, "Hey, have you ever written for women before?" And I said, "Oh yeah, like breakup notes and stuff." And then the conversation ended. And she walked away, and I went, "Oh shit, I was just like messing."
Wait, were you like, oh, what a dick? Oh my god.
No, I don't
all
remember.
These comments are the
I
same.
don't remember being offended by it. I think I just thought that meant I maybe if I looked offended, I wasn't offended by that. I just thought, oh, he doesn't want to write for me because I was looking for someone to help me, like maybe like write some stuff. But
that's what we talked about later. So that like a year and a half later, you came to Denver. And I was so happy, and I was like, I hope she's happy that I'm on the show in Denver. And came in, we talked, and it was great. We had a great time. And then I recalled that, and I said I was sorry about that. She's like, "Oh, that's fine. I just thought it was your way of saying I don't want to write jokes for you or write with you at all." And I said, "Well, it was dumb on my part." So,
how did you two meet?
The first time was because I was on the set. To visit, so I would have just met you there. Which is
were on this. I think you came to the episode where you came in with your new girlfriend to make me jealous. Do you remember that episode? And
yes.
And she walked in, and I did that. Okay, like, and that was my favorite thing when you introduced me. I look at her and I go, "Okay," just so dismissive.
I need to go back and just revisit what I looked like 100 years ago.
The lighting is exactly the same. So you may look it's a little different, but it's like but anyway, so I met you then. It wasn't really hang out. And I was worried. This is what for comics, like the worry is you can't really be friends with comics until you've seen their act, because then if you don't like their act. So I don't think there was any I was very happy when you came to Vegas to see a show. So when you guys came out to see that was like,
when was the first time we did that? Maybe before pandemic or after? Yeah,
it was before.
Wow.
I just remember the first thing Chris said about you was that we did something where it was hot outside and you had a leather jacket on, and Chris was so mad.
I came to visit.
You didn't sweat.
I was very angry about that.
Look at me now.
I was furious about this. I came to visit, and this was not a day. I don't know what was happening, but so I came to visit and at the lot, and it's whatever. It seemed like it was July, but I don't know if it was during the summer or
Hot.
not. But it was very hot, and we're walking on the blacktop backstage or whatever in the studio there, and go to the commissary or something, and we're coming, and I'm in shorts and a t-shirt or polo or something like that. That's going to go, well, it'll breathe a little bit. It's going to be bad, but it's whatever. It's Southern California. And Melissa's wearing comfortable clothes, and Peter is in jeans.
I've been sweating since
jeans, a light gray t-shirt.
You don't know what was going on underneath that. I could have been absolutely sopping.
We're getting to that. We're getting to that point. And then a denim jacket on the top of that. And at some point there was a comment made, "Are you hot?" And he goes, "No." And you took it off. Not a bead of sweat anywhere. And I'm just like, this is not fair. This is not fair.
Guys, can I ask you a serious question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I look
the
like
lighting?
an Easter card?
It is about the lighting. Yeah, it is. Yes. I mean,
it is a little. He has risen.
But it does look like it's warm there.
It's got very it's like touched by an angel, like. Or you're a cult leader, and this is our first meeting. You have some diffuse.
Yeah. But anyway, so that time in Vegas was really fun because then, and I don't know, Melissa, you can talk to that too about, I don't know, about if you can't quite be friends with someone until you've seen them perform. And I knew that I needed Peter to see, if he didn't think I was funny, that I was never going to be able to be friends with him.
Yeah,
like, that was just not gonna happen.
If I went and saw somebody do stand up and I didn't think they were funny, I'd have to ghost them. I don't like conflict or to confront them, so I would never tell them. So then I just would have to. I'd have to move away, or I couldn't be friends. I couldn't be friends with somebody who I didn't. I mean, I could be if I. No, I couldn't. They'd have to quit their job.
Is that why you left Minnesota?
Then talk yourself out of it.
Yeah. No, I really can't. Like, you can't, like, I mean, if that's what they're doing, if that's what they say they do for a living, and then I don't find them funny, I don't think I'd be their friend. It'd be too hard. But if they were like, oh, if Chris was like, I work in human resources, and I go, oh, you're not that funny, I'd still be friends with him. But if he said he was a stand-up and he wasn't funny, I couldn't be friends with him.
What if he wasn't funny? No, we're not even going to use Chris as an example. Like, what if I was doing... okay, fine. Let's say Chris wasn't funny. But we're like, oh, well, he does other things. He's good at other things. And he asks you, like, well, do you have any advice? Would you be able to say...
Yeah, that's a good question.
I say lean into that teaching thing.
Yeah. That is...
Oh, you've got bubbles now, too.
Yeah.
I got a thumbs up. But here's the deal. Yes. Like, I also know that there's people that don't think I'm funny, but I don't think that, like, just
they
like
don't speak
on
English.
A professional level, like, I don't know. By the way, being funny doesn't mean they have to be hilarious, but they have to, yeah, it does. They have to get the joke.
Yeah,
I can't hang out with people that don't get the joke, I guess.
Right.
But also funny is subjective too. Like, I may find somebody hilarious that you don't find hilarious. I mean, that wouldn't happen though.
The audiences aren't finding them funny. So yes, it is subjective, but the audiences collectively have decided.
Collectively, like, yeet, you're like, it would be really hard.
Yeah. And you teach them the old,
kind of, yeah. So at least give them some threes.
Give them,
give them a and yeah, if you can do that. Yeah,
that's it.
Well, I think most people now think actually louder is the funnier. They just go louder, louder, louder.
And
they think if they yell faster, the last part, faster, louder and faster, that's the, what most people are going. Okay, so that's how we know each other. But what are the things you say if someone doesn't know this person at all? Like, you're trying to say, oh, Peter, my friend Peter, he.
Like, if I was at
what
a
are
party
the things?
And you didn't know any, and you had not met anybody at this party, I'd say, oh, hi, this is my friend Peter. He's a fabulous actor, singer. We met. He played my boyfriend, my husband on TV. He was my TV husband, but my real life best friend. and he's beautiful and talented and funny. That's probably how I'd introduce him.
Mm. What credits would you initially give?
I'd say you can see him on Days of Our Lives. He toured with Mamma Mia. He was on For the Record. He was in Baby Daddy. You've seen him in Hallmark movies. You've seen him. Where else would I would say? What's the movie? What's the Neil Patrick Harris show you did? That every single
Uncoupled.
female, no, not even female. Every single friend of mine called me because you have a naked scene.
I have a nude scene. I've done a nude scene.
And so many people called me wanting to verify. It was just, I just remember going, you guys, you tell the story, but this is, by the way, this is my favorite because I got so many ridiculous texts of going, Melissa, you're friends with Peter, aren't you? And I'm like, what are they all watching right now? And I gotta watch this. Anyway, go ahead.
I still haven't seen it.
You haven't?
No, I haven't seen it. But it was very fun to shoot with Neil Patrick Harris. And I do get my butt out, and it's about Botoxing a-holes. So check it out. It was on Netflix.
Oh, so that's why you don't sweat there. So
that's it.
Yeah,
it's all Botox.
Now I get it.
I just killed all of the pores.
But I would probably just to go. I mean, not that I want to exit this conversation, but I would probably say that I would probably name like Days of Our Lives, Baby Daddy, a lot of Hallmark movies. He's a great actor, singer. I mean, that's probably what I would say.
Yeah, I think that's really lovely. Thank you.
Okay.
That's really, really sweet.
You know, the singing part, I've actually never heard you sing. So that part, I know. Well, I take that back. The only time I've heard you sing is you telling the story about the Lion King audition, but we'll save that for another time because that's probably a 5-minute.
Best story ever.
How do you introduce Melissa? If someone doesn't know,
at a party, I would say obviously you know who she is. She needs an introduction.
Do you argue with people?
We love your catering.
Do you argue with people and they're like, I don't know her? No, you know who she is.
I do.
You know who she
like,
is.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, if you don't know her from Reba, then you know her for young Sheldon. Then you know her from what was the one, the country one that you did with Lachlan? Or Working Class. Now Happy's Place, Baby Daddy. But most importantly, she's whore number 2 in Fargo. I mean, she's a wildly successful, very talented actress. But what I think Melissa does better than anyone, I'm going to wait till she comes back because I want these points.
Is walk away from a compliment. No one walks away.
But
you obviously angered her dog immensely with those compliments.
Thank you. That was a great intro.
That's just her, that is just a small part of her television and film credits. Then she has an incredible, well, no, you've done so much. And then, what a career you've had. What an enviable, wonderful, diverse career. And then you've also been on stage in Tony and Tina's Wedding, many other stage productions. And then I would move on to what I think is actually the most impressive thing that Melissa does is raises millions upon millions of dollars for charities because no one can work a crowd like Melissa Peterman.
That's true.
If she hosts and she is authentic and just real with anyone, with billionaires, working class folk. She can talk to anyone in a crowd and get them to give what they are able to give. It's magic to watch her do that.
I do like to get money from people for good causes.
Oh my God, you're so good at it. You are so good at presenting and hosting and getting people to give you money for great causes. But the most important thing is what she does for the cast and crew involved in a show. I've never seen on any set that I've been on someone do this as well as Melissa, because she makes it a family. and she makes sure that the new people that are coming to set for the first time, the day players, all feel incredibly welcome and comfortable. She goes out of her way constantly. When she's having a bad day, you will never know it because she is still holding everyone up. And that is why I loved and I needed to be friends with her the moment that I met her on Baby Daddy, and I love to work with her in any capacity that I can.
Well, that's way too nice.
Yeah, we'll cut a lot of that.
So it means you tell me.
It's all true. It's all true.
Yeah.
I do want to tell you this one thing that I worked on a play with Eve Ensler, who is an incredible writer and a playwright who wrote the Vagina Monologues, blah, blah, blah. And she said that if you are like one or two on a call sheet, your job is not to lead the movie. It is to lead the set. Like, you are responsible for setting the tone.
I've never been one or two on a call sheet, though, by the way.
I don't think on this podcast, you're definitely in the top three.
You are, well, fine. We'll call it the Melissa Peterman show. You're number one on this one.
I've never been one or two on a call sheet.
Wow.
We have to introduce Chris, don't we?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we do, yes.
We could just say, Chris, this is the other guy. We know. We don't have to.
I always introduce you and say, this is one of my favorite funny stand-up friends, Chris. He's also a PhD, but you don't have to call him doctor. That's what I usually say.
That I do disagree with, but...
and I'd say he's a great teacher, super funny, and we've known each other for a really long time, and I'd say he's a really fantastic teacher. Like, kids that get to be in his classroom are very, very lucky, and he's also very funny. And that I do like to sometimes mention that you opened for me, which is such a laugh because you were far more experienced, way funnier. Here, let me try
I'll take it from here. Other things I love about Chris is that he's very spontaneous and he has a high status at Delta, so he can basically travel whenever he wants to.
With United.
And that he is adventurous and he's always up for just the next fabulous trip. And I also, let's see. Oh, and he's single, ready to mingle, ladies.
Yes, he's single.
Line up.
Also, yeah, I don't think the ready to mingle part, but certainly single. No, I think that's very nice. I don't think any of my other friends would think of me as adventurous or someone who's ready to.
Well, those friends aren't allowed on this podcast, so
yeah. Well, I mean,
concerned, you are.
But you have seen, like when I've gone to New York or wherever, and I'll do things. I think I just do stuff on my own because I want to make it happen.
That's it.
But
look at this podcast. You make things happen. You dream them up, and you just do it. And I think that so few people just do it.
I would agree. I think you're adventurous. I think you're very spontaneous. And I think you like to go do stuff, which is a lot of times people, when they get your age, or our age, they don't like to do stuff. I think they don't.
Yeah.
I just think people are like, oh, that's too hard. And you're like, no, I'm going to buy a plane ticket and I'm going to meet you in New York. And like, that's what's really fun. Yeah.
Well, when you love Back to the Future like I do, you're willing to get on a plane and go anywhere.
Another story. That's another story about how Chris always picks the wrong
So sometimes adventurous gets you in the wrong spots. It doesn't always work out. That's the thing. That's the risk you take when you live the sort of courageous, adventurous life that I live. That I think
courageous.
Yeah.
I would say that the three of us, I mean, because I always think like I have a child, and when he was little, everyone's like, oh, when it's three kids over, it can be bad usually. Three people, it's not always a good mix, especially like there's always one that feels like left out, or like there's when fights happen. And I think we're a good trio. I think that I could travel with both of you. I'm not going to fight. It's easy.
You're pretty easy to travel with.
Yeah.
You're very easy to travel with.
Yeah,
I think we all are.
I think you two are probably very similar in traveling. That's why you like to travel together. We have not actually traveled together. I've met you at places, and then that works probably. I'm okay with all the stuff. I'm not so great with eating in bed watching shows. So that's where we would diverge quickly.
Oh, that's a fine. We only do that
since the moment you met each other.
Yeah, that's true.
I just like that. I just like cold hotel rooms, and I like to have snacks and be able to like I mean, I know that just makes that is so the idea of a nightstand is actually sort of like a charcuterie board.
It
When you
is.
think about
It
it,
is.
yeah, especially the
Yeah.
glass ones are nice.
Oh, those are perfect because you can use the knife straight on it.
Right on the, right on the glass.
Block and
Yeah.
cheddar right there. You've got
Right
Bravo
there.
on.
Chop, 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 chop.
And
Yeah.
the room is freezing. It's
Did
delightful.
you say Ramalade? Gromalade?
Bravo is
Gravlax?
on.
Oh, Bravo's on. I
Yeah,
agree.
and with it really cold, the cheese is not going to go bad.
Nope.
That's right.
And
when she says cold, we're talking like if we could pump it down to 58, we would put a hat on and we would get into bed. Parka.
I want it. Yeah, I want to see your breath. Like I want to be like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a charcuterie board, that's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
So
it's good.
All right, well, that's who we are. That's pretty good.
Do you want us all to say like I'm Melissa, and then or like Melissa, and then Peter, and then Matt?
We can do that if that's what you would like to do.
Want to?
I think we do like this. You go Melissa, Peter, man, Melissa, Peter, man, Melissa, Peter, man, Melissa, Peter, man, Melissa, Peter, man. And then da-da-da-da-da. Let's try it.
I mean, all of those work.
Melissa.
Peter.
Melissa.
Man.
Oh, brother.
Hi.
Zap. All right, let's try it again.
There's the delay part is just so bad too. But
Okay. Melissa.
Peter.
Man.
Pod.
Podcast. And that's Showbiz Kids.
Melissa and